There we go. Fancy. This way, if she does need the recording, I will have it. So I have the packet there for you, and you may want to make side notes, on a notebook or whatever. There are a
I've
couple
got a pad of
things.
paper here.
Perfect. There's a couple things that I definitely will break down for you, but I jokingly call this one, "What have I done? And what do I do next?" Because by now, a lot of the questions, how do I do this? How does this work?
Right.
Probably start like filling your mind.
Mhm.
So we're going to talk about details tonight and
Okay.
organization. And I will be the first to tell you, I am simple. I'm not the one to have fancy stuff. I want very simple, duplicatable things that don't require a lot of my time. I didn't join Mary Kay
Right.
to do paperwork. No.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's right up my alley. So I like
good.
this.
Good. Okay. So when it comes to running an office in your home, there's a few resources that you will want to have, and they're pretty obvious. Access to a computer is handy
Okay.
for obvious reasons. Access to a printer can be really good. Now, FedEx, we get a really great discount
Okay.
through Mary Kay with FedEx. So if you don't, or, sometimes it's like, "Hey, hubby, can I print something, you bring it home for me?" It's not like a bunch of color crazy stuff, but just here and there, tracking sheets or flyers can be handy to have.
Right.
However, FedEx gives us we pay less than 50% than
Okay.
the retail price. So it's actually doable. It's not crazy expensive. And you can find that if you ever want to like print, there will be some things when you first get going, if you're doing in person at some point, where you'll print some things that you take to every appointment over and over again.
Okay.
But you can find the FedEx. Let me make sure I tell you correctly. If you go to Mary Kay in Touch, you will find that link. Just want to make sure you know how to find it here. I love technology. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
This is the one. Nope, this is the one I want. Share. Okay, so ours look a little different when we log in because of things, but
Right.
up here at the top is all the same. And so if you go to ordering, can you see that right there?
Yep.
Ordering tab. You go down to MK Connections approved vendors. This is where they have different companies that work with us.
Okay.
The one is FedEx Dock Store. So if you go to the FedEx Dock Store and you place an order, now it's linked to your Mary Kay account, and you can see what it would cost. So where printing something for the regular person might be $17, like a big file, we might pay $5.
Okay.
Or,
Wow.
a couple color copies will cost you $2.
Right.
They
Okay.
have the ability to deliver. It changes based on where you live, but you can have it delivered to your house if you're not in a big rush. It's really nice. So definitely, if
Okay.
you need a lot of color for just whatever as time goes by, just tuck that away.
Okay.
Other than that, the officey things, just some sort of drawer where you can put some papers. So I'll show you on our next page, or in a couple pages, I'll show you what I'm talking about, but just a place where you can put some papers for filing.
Okay.
And then you eventually storing whatever products and samples you have. And
Okay.
for me, that's almost always been in a closet or in a rolling suitcase. You don't have to have a whole massive thing. You can keep it real simple and like under the bed boxes, tucked under something. You can put it on a bookshelf, it'll probably change over the years.
Okay.
And that'll depend on, as you grow, how much product you have on hand and how much you find you just
Right.
want to send through Mary Kay, and you'll feel that out.
Is it an expectation, like, because I was thinking about inventory, like for now, like, is it unrealistic, or do people do this where they want to stay maybe as website based as they can until they get the money to then purchase a lot of the inventory that they'll have, Okay.
Totally.
Because in my mind, that's the route I'll probably take, as opposed to like just buying a package outright and then trying to get rid of it, I guess,
Yeah,
so.
totally. I was more that way. As I got going, had like a kickoff party. And so I was able to
Right.
hit that 600 level through a couple of orders, but I
Mhm.
wasn't stocking a bunch of stuff ahead of, like, it was a
Right.
slow, gradual process. And then
Right.
you'll figure it out. If you're like, okay, I've got now all these ladies who live in my town, I can just hand it to her at church. You may want certain things.
Right.
As a director, I keep everything, but that's been built over a lifetime,
A
so
lifetime. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, go at your own pace with it.
Okay.
Get what supports you and makes your business easier. There's
Right.
times where it's just easier to have some things. And so you may say, okay, hey, Vince, I've been making profit. Let's place a $200 order and get some stuff.
I would think that like having quite a few samples on hand of things would be beneficial. Like, cause I just gave my mom, ironically enough, I did not realize this, but in the samples that I got in my box, it had both the rosewood or whatever and the appleberry, like both the colors that we had
Oh
mentioned for her.
my word.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, guess what? You'll never believe.
I didn't know they were in there.
You can try out the colors that we found, except the one, obviously, but
Yes.
but the two that I thought she might gravitate toward anyway were in the two of the samples. So I just gave her like 3 of the samples. So
Amazing.
it worked out.
Amazing.
So,
Yes.
but I was thinking that, how beneficial it would be, even if somebody buys something that, or even is interested in a product, it would help to have at least like maybe with the color, especially like,
Yes.
those samples to be able to give.
People
But,
love it. They love it. And they will truly buy. Hi. We might end up with a visitor, but it's okay. She came and found me. So yes, totally.
Aw.
Totally. It's
Okay.
on the counter, honey. You're okay. So yeah, so those are the main things that will keep you going. It's okay. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. So yes. Come here. Can you say hi? Say hi. Hi.
Hi, cutie. You're the one that's right around, is she right
Life.
around life stage?
Yep,
Okay.
she's going on 22 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're real close. It felt like a lifetime back when you had your baby and I was still pregnant, but
I know.
you're laughing at me. You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny?
Aw, she is a doll. Oh my word. Hi, cutie.
She's an 8 o'clock bed girl, so it's coming. It's coming. Okay, so let me find my document. Where did I put that? Let me close this out. Where did I put that? That's awesome. Oh, okay, I found it. So what? No, that's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, where is it? Okay, so money management is the second page, and this front side is like the written out details of how it works. I'm going to kind of give you a chart version. So you can use that as a review, but if on your paper you want to jot it in a kind of chart way, I'll show you how you do the money. So when you have a sale of any kind, that money comes into you, and our general recommendation is if you open 2 free checking accounts, you can split your profit and your inventory money, and it makes less paperwork. It's less like dividing in your head or having a spreadsheet or whatever. Now, you and Vince may decide we're just going to do one, and we have a program where it'll tell us, what the money's for that's in the account. If that makes sense, like a every dollar, or YNAB is one that I use. But if you can get 2 free checking accounts, especially early on, it really makes things easy, because all you'll do is when you sell products, let's say you have $200 in sales, you're going to put that all into your profit account. And it's just a regular account, doesn't have to be business or anything extra fancy. You deposit that into the bank. So it might be credit cards and you're just transferring them from the credit card company. That's the ProPay thing that you may have
Okay.
seen. You have access to ProPay for free. You just have to sign up and get it turned on basically.
Okay.
But when they go into ProPay, it's just a holding tank. Your money just sits there and you transfer it into your bank account whenever you want.
Okay.
You can use it for placing orders, just depending, but that
Like if
money,
somebody wants to order something, they hand me their credit card, I'm at church, and is that the one you would use, or do you use that, or you do use Venmo more?
I do all of them.
Okay.
Some people who aren't Venmo, PayPal people will do card, and then I keep it on file inside of ProPay. So
Okay.
they'll just be like, give me my stuff, and then I charge their card later. It's kind of easy. Nobody.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah,
And I do have that app on my phone, and I think I'm good to go with it.
Awesome. Awesome. There's small fee with ProPay, although now Venmo and PayPal are all getting caught up to that. So the only thing I
Right.
think still free is Zelle, which is great.
Right.
And I'll do Zelle because it's still attached and, I just take it into that bank account.
Right.
So when you put that money in, the best rule of thumb is to then just immediately move 60% of it into the inventory category. So either transfer it to your inventory account or assign it to the inventory category. And now you have the money you need to order those products or to restock them, depending on where you're at. You also have a little bit of extra buffer for samples and for shipping and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we recommend a 60-40 split to where your business pays for itself. You're not having to take from your personal funds to pay for shipping or that kind of stuff. It's like, nope, I do 60-40. Inventory account has everything it needs to order stuff and get a little extra stuff.
Okay.
If you do want to order extra things, like you're like, okay, I'm noticing that all the women here like mascara. I'm just going to get some mascaras on hand.
Right.
And you would just do more of like a 70-30 split or a 80-20 split. So the 60-40 will just keep you rolling with what you sold. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that 60% is just for anything you order from Mary Kay and Touch. So all your samples, all your trays or mirrors or just products, that all your stuff and customer stuff all will come out of that account, and you'll only use it to order stuff from Mary Kay in Touch.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. Now, the other side, the 40% is your money. So there may be a time where there's an event you want to go to and you want to set aside a few dollars, $20 a month to go to career conference or something. So you can set aside out of that, or you can just transfer all of it straight into your personal family budget.
Okay.
The main thing is you can't deposit your sales into your family budget. It needs to go into your business's account, your Mary Kay account, and then transfer to you like a paycheck kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just for tax purposes. So you're not commingling the funds. The only other things that you'll occasionally need to set a little money aside for would be if you do post office shipping. So like I'll have a little bit for doing things with the post office or stamps if I'm sending birthday cards out to customers or something. When you first, well, not right now, but eventually, if you're like, hey, I want to do some things at my house, you may want to grab some washcloths, some headbands, just little things to kind of get you. Oh my word.
Is everything okay?
Are you all right?
Oh,
I can't even explain to
if you need to go tend to her, you can go for it.
Okay.
Oh, oh.
Mom, can I have some candy in my lunch?
You all right? You can go see Daddy. Okay. Go see Daddy.
Oh,
Let him know that you hurt yourself.
I'm like crying for her. That poor thing. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah, she does gymnastics and stuff. So she was like pushing up on my desk. I didn't really even know what was happening, but her arm slipped and she hit her face.
Oh,
Did you go to daddy? Mike? Evelyn hurt herself.
that poor thing. Oh my goodness.
That was a bad one.
Oh,
That was a
she
bad
held
one.
it in very well.
Probably
I'd have
knowing
been
like,
like, ah.
I know, I'm not really supposed to be in here. And then I messed around and hurt myself. And it's like, oh no, that was a good one.
Oh,
She'll be okay.
poor thing.
So anyway, just so
They're
you
doing great. Your
They-
littlest one, man, if I had Blythe on me, she would be all over the place. She's a mover.
this is kind of miraculous. I usually end up getting frustrated and locking her out.
You
No.
never know. They're very
Mhm.
unpredictable.
You being good. Yeah, you being good. So crazy. Anyway, that 40%, that's your money. So
Okay.
if you need to set some aside for some various things, the big thing is try to use your Mary Kay accounts if you have to purchase stuff.
Right.
That way it's all staying in there. You can see what your expenses were for the year. Eventually you'll probably want to budget, not now, down the road. Like I budget for postage every month because I kind of know how much do I end up sending. I'll budget for just little office supplies. But right now, just in general, if you need to buy stuff, try to use that 40% and then,
Okay.
but also make sure you transfer money to your family as much as you can. That's
Okay.
where you see the impact. That's where Vince sees the impact of having a little extra
Right.
hangout time with Blythe, you know, or you might do it all while she's in bed, and he might get to watch sports. That's cool too. But, you know, there's bound to be those little trade-offs and you want him to see it blessing your family, even if
Right.
it's small to start, you know, $50 for a dinner out.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a blessing.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
Okay.
that's
Good.
how that'll work. So if you have Venmo, send the Venmo into that profit side. If you have ProPay, PayPal, Zelle, you know, just make sure it all goes into that account and then you can move
Okay.
60%.
Okay.
I do it once a week.
Yeah.
Just kind of have a time where I'll do it on Sundays for us because we don't have a
Okay.
lot going. Or no, I switched to Friday nights. That's how excited
Fridays.
my lives are.
Okay.
Friday night, budget night. So
Awesome. Okay.
yeah, so that's kind of the money management part.
Okay.
The other thing is the next page is showing you what all your tax deduct. Oh, I got it out of order. Go to page 4.
4. Okay.
Page 4 is it's Accounting Unlimited. They're just a company that Mary Kay people know. And I do not use them to do my taxes, but I like their resources. So I
Okay.
use their papers that are available on the computer. So when you look at this page, this is an example of all the things that you can claim on your taxes to help you as a small business owner. So your Mary Kay business is going to benefit you until you're driving a free car on your
Right.
taxes. Like
Okay.
you won't be paying in because you sold $10,000. Like the tax deductions will balance it out. So you'll be on the positive side.
Okay.
So it'll help you. So
So
what
you would
I
use
do,
this sheet when you do your taxes or when you
Yes.
submit your taxes to
Yes.
whoever does your
yep.
okay.
Yep.
It
So
is very organized. It's nice.
yeah. So you can decide, I don't know how you guys handle your budget now, just to somewhere where you can either keep your receipts and add them up at the end of the year, or I'll scan them into the Dropbox app as like a scan. I'll just scan the receipt and put, I'll put supplies. So I just give it a tag. And then all you need to know at the end of the year is how many receipts for supplies do you have? You know, it's
Okay.
$100, or how many meals did you do with clients? You know, $25. So this sheet is just giving you all of the options that are there. So if you look at the bottom, there's vehicle expenses and in-home expenses because you are running your business from your house.
Right.
So your car is now a moving tax deduction. If you go to Walmart and you're buying groceries, but you also buy cotton balls, that was a tax deduction, that trip.
Okay.
You can write down the miles for it.
Okay.
So having a
Does
little,
it take you a little bit to get thinking that way? Because you know, for me, it would be like an afterthought unless
Yes.
I'm like actively like.
Yes, absolutely. What you'll probably find is you'll go, she's pushing on. Maybe you should not stay.
Can I get another piece of candy since it's
No,
full?
no, you may not. Mm-mm.
Is she doing okay?
Yes, now we're
Is
trying
there
to
any blood?
manipulate. Can I have an extra piece of candy?
Oh,
We've had enough. So, what it'll probably be, you'll find, Laura, is you'll be like, I need to go to Walmart and buy 3 things for my business. And it'll be more of a, I'm going to Walmart and I need those things. So
Okay.
write down your mile, like,
right.
this is my odometer reading and this is the date and I went to get stuff. And then while you're there, you're like, ooh, I need some bananas too, don't I? You know, you'll run over and get other stuff. So most likely in the beginning, you'll be doing it for Mary Kay, not going to groceries and then, oh, you know what? I need so that'll
Right.
help because you'll be very like intentional and planned because it's like a new thing that you need to do.
Oh.
So what you just for kind of the kind of getting established is if you can just put a little journal or notebook in your car and just when you go out to the car or run out tonight and just write down the date and what your odometer is today. And then anytime you do some driving that involves Mary Kay, even if you're going to your mom's house and you are taking her samples, that trip to your mom's house and back counts because you're not getting paid to go to her house. Like it's not a job. You're not employed by her. So anytime, and you can backtrack it. You can go, I don't know how many miles that is and Google it. And it's totally fine, totally legit.
Okay.
So just start beginning to kind of train your mind. Like if there's Mary Kay involved and you're not employed by anyone, so you can't have that problem. Even going to church can be miles that are deducted for your taxes.
True. Oh my goodness.
And
That's awesome.
It's more than
Okay.
50 cents a mile. So it's a big deal.
Okay.
So doing your car is a big one. And then the other one is your office in home. Here, there you go. Your office and home expenses is a portion of your utilities, a portion of your repairs and maintenance, your mortgage interest or rent, like those things. It's going to be based on how much space you use for your business. Oh my goodness. Okay. Smashing Pumpkins is the next thing on the list. So like, do you guys have like an quote unquote office in your home now or?
We could actually,
Mhm.
there could be an office room. Yes, I mean, I just would need to set it up as such.
Sure. Well, the big thing is if you can just store any products or any papers or your starter kit, those things, store it in a room that's not a bedroom or a kitchen. Like just designate it the closet or whatever for your Mary Kay stuff. That way you can write off that space on your taxes and that portion of all of your utilities and mortgage and all that kind of stuff. When tax time comes, I'll explain more detailed, like what are the measurements. We'll get into that later. You don't need to know right now.
Okay.
But for now, hey, go be quiet, okay? Go be quiet.
Is it basically like a percentage of the bill then?
Yep.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. So if your closet and the surrounding space and path is 10% of your home, then 10% of all of that, the tax people will write off. So the sheet
Gotcha.
will tell them how to calculate it. You don't have to calculate the percentage, but it's really
Right.
nice. Really nice. So that's why
Yeah.
you can sell a lot of Mary Kay and not have to pay taxes. Like your sales tax, Mary Kay covers, they
Right.
report that for you. But income tax, you're going to have deductions upon deductions for quite a while.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And if you
Sweet.
guys have more questions on that, as you walk through it, I'm totally here. I'm not a tax accountant, but I've learned enough
Right.
to like give you a good
Okay.
guide as you get going.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, ooh,
Okay.
okay. So
Bless.
car and home is the big ones. The other categories are things just to keep in mind, keep receipts for. Internet and cell phone Those can now be tax deductions because you are using your internet from your home and working from your phone. So
Okay.
that's on here. So just if you keep the bills or have an online log of them, you're going to tally those up at the end of the year. So
Okay.
that's super fun, super beneficial. The only thing outside of just, regular living life and receipts that you have as you buy stuff, the only thing that you need to keep besides that is, if I have one right here.
Having a conversation with the referee, and it was another official at 15 yards away, during a media timeout.
Okay, hold up. Here we go.
Were you ready? Yeah, it's just different.
Hold on, I go crazy. The packing slip that comes in your orders, you probably had one in your starter kit, and if you didn't keep it, you could still print it because it's still available
Okay.
online, but they do go away eventually after like 90 days.
Okay.
So you want to keep these because at the end of the year, it will give you your, hey, don't do that. It will give you your total when you add them up of freight, sales tax paid to Mary Kay already, retail and wholesale values, and any supplies you bought from Mary Kay. So all you'll do is, let's say you place one order a month, you'll have 12 of these. You might end up with more than that, but you'd have 12 packing slips that you would just add up those numbers. And then, okay, Mary Kay, I paid them, $50 in supplies this year. So again, that's coming off of your taxable income.
Right. Okay.
And you'll know, okay, I ordered this much in product and I have this much left. So I sold, so anyway, just keep these,
Okay.
That's what you'll put in the drawer, wherever you keep files. That's what you're going to keep a hold of.
Okay.
There'll be a couple other things that we'll talk about in other weeks, but for now, this is what you'll keep paper of. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Any questions?
We're good. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, perfect.
Do you have a certain amount of categories, like in your file folders? Like you probably have 50, but if I were to make folders, say for receipts and stuff,
Yeah, I
you
could
know.
tell you some that you'll definitely use. Do you want to start?
what are
off?
your top, like what are your more popular
Yes.
categories to have?
So you're going to want a total sales. You want to have a place to put your total sales. I'll show you. Hey, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. She's figuring out buttons and printing labels. So you need a place to put your sales. You'll want a folder for advertising. And that's not like you taking an ad in the paper, but it's something you can do quarterly through Mary Kay. That's handy.
Okay.
Office, supplies. Oh, weekly meeting. It's not going to be a weekly meeting fee, but you may eventually want one for like sometimes we have makeup artists that will do a $10 workshop or a $20 workshop. So that would be
Okay.
a fee that you pay just so you can learn from her or something.
Okay.
The meals and food, that would just be if you start meeting with clients, when you get coffee together or something. Postage for sure. That's mostly it
Okay.
as far as right now. The other things are normal life things, so you don't need to keep it
Right.
separate in Mary Kay. There's 4 of those on there that are all found on your packing slip, so you don't need but just one folder for them.
Okay.
The second one, no, not the third one down, section 1 purchases. That one, as well as about halfway down, sales tax paid. And then, do you see
Okay.
this?
Gotcha.
Yep, that one.
I see it there.
Perfect. And then another like 8 down, freight and section 2. Those 4 are all on your packing slips. I know it says there from packing slips, but just you can know you don't need separate ones for those. Just one folder will cover all 4 of those details.
Okay.
So,
So the pro pay fees, I know that almost every credit card company does charge their own little percentage for processing credit cards, but is it do you know off the top of your head, like what percentage that is?
I don't know what the number is, but I do know it is so good that any other bank or company that tries to ever
Right.
reel me in is like, oh, never mind.
Right.
You can't beat that. It's
And we
to
would
something-
pay that, not the client, right?
correct.
Okay.
So when you charge ProPay, you'll see where, okay, so you charge your $95 and then there's a $2 little thing
Right.
that comes off. It's like 2 to 3%. It's
Okay.
very small.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
I don't know how I knew that, but that's
Yep.
what I was thinking it would be maybe. But,
Which is another reason why I don't do a bunch of discounts, because there are those little things.
right.
And so, we're just
How
gonna,
do you, I think that's one of the questions I had. This might be a little bit of a tangent, but
yeah.
with the whole offering, discounts or incentives for people to host or like, just when you're trying to drum up business, like how do you, is that just something that you manually can change and alter,
Yes.
however you want, basically?
Yep.
Okay.
You're
Like in-
only gonna pay Mary Kay the 50%. Anytime you order, you're gonna give them half of the retail value plus the
Okay.
tax.
Okay.
And then that other 50% is yours to do with. So,
Okay.
typically, and when you plug it into the app, it gives you the full price. It doesn't do half, like you're
Okay.
going to see, full price plus tax. So then
Right.
if she was a hostess, it has a place you can do discount 20% or discount $30 or anything you want.
So there is a place within the ProPay system that has those options then?
It's in the app called the My Customers Plus app. Do you have
I
that
think
one
I
yet?
have that.
Okay.
I think I downloaded
Yeah.
that one.
I think
Yeah.
you did. I remember you saying something about it. Put your mom in or yourself and just kind of go in there and look at it and you'll see where it takes you step by step. You can process their card straight through the app, or if it's Venmo or cash or a check, it has places where you can just put in how much they paid you.
I think this was the one that I tried. So I plugged her in.
You may have tried CDS, customer
Okay.
delivery. So do it as if you were giving it from your own inventory and it will give you
Okay.
more control.
Gotcha.
It'll give you more control. And that's where too, in the beginning, a lot of times you may place like a bulk order and it's other people's orders and you're just gonna give them their stuff.
Okay.
We'll get there, but
Okay.
when you start to put an order in on the app to play with it, do it from your inventory.
Okay.
That will let you have a lot more flexibility and you can
Okay.
see
That
more.
makes sense.
The one for CDS is very strict because it's gotta be, a certain.
Exactly how it needs to be. Yep. Okay.
So, but yeah, you have total flexibility and we will go into those in the coming weeks. But I like it when the questions come up. I don't mind hitting stuff early, even if you're like, okay, I don't have to know all of it, but just give me a direction.
Right.
I want you to have those answers. So you don't have to wait until week 2 or week 4, but
Mhm.
just know that more detail will come and we will
Okay.
totally like hold it up and be like, here's how you do this and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else right now on those? That was the most, I guess, for lack of a better word, intense part. The other things are
Right.
pretty simple.
Okay.
But I do want to make sure that you don't have any questions on.
No, I think that that's fine. And I think that is a lot of like the reports and stuff kind of generated through the websites that we're using, because all that information is kind of entered as far as like if we're ordering things for people, you know what I mean? Like how much of it is paper, how much of it is electronic. I can pull
Yes.
up what I need.
Most of it is electronic now.
Okay.
When
Yeah, that's
when I
what I was-
first started, it was paper receipts and all that. And now I couldn't tell you the last time I used a paper one and it's all in there. It's so nice.
Okay. Okay.
So nice.
Okay.
So, singing a song. So, girl, you silly,
You are in a good mood for 8:30, child.
right? Well, it's 7:40 here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I am forgetting. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
No, she would not be sitting here. It's fine. Okay, so if you go back up to page 3, this one somehow got out of order, but I'm just going to show you this. You're not going to need it, too soon.
Right,
This is just a sheet that I use month over month to keep track of who I'm reaching out to, who I'm scheduling for appointments, who I'm actually meeting with,
Okay.
and the process of walking through with them. Because I can't write stuff down on 100 pieces of paper. I need it in
Right.
one place. So on this sheet, we'll go over it more in depth in coming weeks. No, I just wanted to put it in front of you, and you can just have it
Okay.
and know that when you start reaching out and making calls, you'll be able to put their name on here and mark what they said. Hey, do you need to go out? You need to be quiet. Yes, mama. Okay. So you do your bookings, and then when you see the faces, you jot them down. Also, that way you just don't forget about people. I use this every
Right.
month to go back and be like, oh, Sarah, she bought a skincare set. I forgot to check on her. Hey, Sarah, how's your skin? It's just a good trigger to care for my customers, keep track of people, but it's in one place. And then your sales are in the app. So this sheet will serve you over the coming years. Hey, you need to stop. So
Do
just
you find that most people, it's probably hard to different, like, do you feel like people reach out to you when they are out of their product, or do you feel like it helps, like you have to be more proactive and nudge people? Like, or is it half and half,
it's half and half. There are for sure lots of people who will just be like, hey, I need this, and they know they can just
Right.
text me and I handle it.
Right.
But I also, well, for one thing, if I'm selling stuff to people, I feel better if I know I've gone, hey, how are you liking that? Hey, is that
Right.
working for you? And I've done that a few times. I can hold my head high. If they don't end up loving it, I did not leave them out to dry. I stayed in with them and I
Right.
tried to help. Or just over time, it really helps you build that tribe where they're like, no,
Right.
girl. It's not just, I buy Mary Kay from whoever I can get it from. No. Laura's my,
Right.
she takes care of me and she checks on me and I love her, So,
Do you find that some people just go ahead and order through your website too?
yes.
Like, is it a little bit of both?
Yep.
You probably have all types of people. The older ladies probably don't know how to work anything electronic. And so
Yes.
they're like, I need my red lipstick.
Yep. So whatever it is, if they go online, it's in your app. And then if they text me, I immediately put it in the app. That's how I know I don't lose it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just manually enter what their order was.
Okay.
So you'll see how it'll kind of just flow, but it's nice.
Is there like this sounds a little bit weird, but only because I like literally just experienced it. There was a lady in Virginia that went to our church that sold Mary Kay.
Yeah.
And I bought a few things off of her. She's the one that started me on the acne solutions, actually, only because I'm hormonal right now. My skin was like crazy. But does Mary Kay have is it an unwritten rule or a written rule that you really want to establish loyalty with just one consultant? Because if I had like 5 friends that sold it, is it wrong to support each person's business, or is it offensive to spread that out? Do you know what I mean? Or is it just per consultant, like whatever they would feel is, offensive or not appropriate? But I kind of feel like, I wonder if, because I told her I was becoming a consultant and she never, I've always known that if I did it, I would want to do it under you, only because I think that you've been doing it for so long that you would be really good to be underneath, to be honest with you. And this other lady's personality is a little bit less, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I just felt more confident and comfortable coming under you. So I didn't want to offend her by saying that, because I think there was an expectation that the longer you serve somebody, that if you're going to pick someone, that it would be the person that you've been working with, which makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's like, she didn't ask if I had another consultant. And, so I'm thinking, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
ask Jess if there's like, so I know what to expect.
Yeah. So, we are, girls, get out, go. We are, what we on the inside try to do is honor someone else's work. And so if you are working with someone and they're like, oh, I have a girl, she gets me stuff, I love her. Awesome, I'm so glad. Feel free to shop with her. You know, like
Right,
you just leave it loose and you don't, oh,
right,
well, come to me, I'll give you a better deal. You know, we
right.
don't do that.
Gotcha, yeah.
What I true and every woman's gonna kind of handle that in a different way,
Right,
is what you need and what the customers need or want is most important. So if you don't have what you need from that person, whether the way they serve or like a lot of times consultants will be like, well, I order once in 6 months, so in 3 months I'll get it for you. Well, that's not serving someone. So yes,
right,
come to me, I will help you. I
Right.
will get you your
right,
stuff. So it's more that for you
Right.
to say, I'm not comfortable necessarily like soaking in all of her business training. You don't have to go to that person.
right.
You
Okay.
have another relationship that's strong. At the same
Mhm.
time, I didn't go, oh, you have a consultant. Well, come here.
Yeah,
You know, I'm going to
Right,
be
right.
respectful of, you know, where you want to be. And so does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I just, started at a new church and one lady was like, oh, well, how can my Mary Kay from you? I usually buy from so-and-so who I actually know. I don't know her well, but I know her. And I'm like, oh, well, hey, if she serves you and takes care of you, you go to her and all that. If you ever have a need or something, I'm here for you, so
Right,
I didn't try to take her, but I'm not going to be like, I absolutely will not, you know,
right,
because she didn't know that person. She found her online, so
right,
it's always, you want to be respectful and
right, right, right.
some people try to act like they own the customers, but customers go where they want to go.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
You don't have to feel guilty or bad or anything like that.
Okay. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I was just kind of confused, but anyway, so
Yeah, totally.
thank you.
Yes, totally. So the Star Consultant program is, I'm not gonna, you don't have to absorb all of it, but what I want you to know is they have a points reward system with Mary Kay, basically is what this is. And so every time you order from Mary Kay, you're getting a point for every dollar wholesale that you order.
Okay.
So if you place a 225 order, you got 225 points. And that accumulates every quarter to where you can cash those in on a quarterly basis, or you can stock them up for years if you want to, and earn prizes. They have this
Very cool.
open system where you can get thousands of different prizes. You can do travel vouchers, you can do Apple Watch. I mean, little
Nice, yeah.
jewelry. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
And so as you get going, being a Star Consultant is an average of if you were to sell $40 a day. So if
Okay.
each day you sold a foundation and a primer, or a cleanser and a lotion would be more than enough. It'd be 50 some. That kind of level of sales is what makes you a Star Consultant. That's $40 a day. It doesn't have to be $40 a day, but I like to break it down real simple. It's like not mass quantities, but
Right.
it brings a lot of rewards. So
Right.
the quarters are staggered. So we're right now in the second quarter of the year. It goes from September 16th to December 15th.
Okay.
So we're in the middle of the quarter. So anything you do or order this quarter is going to give you some points. And then the quarter turns over on December 15th. So anyhow, this
Is it averaged? Like, you might not sell something one day, but then the
Okay.
next weekend you have $500. So does it average out over the month, and that's how they determine
it's a quarter, 3
by
months.
day? Okay.
Or
Oh,
3 months. So
okay.
if you order $1,800 in 3 months time, which is like $600 a month, that is what it takes to be a Star Consultant. And
Okay.
it's a really cool, hey, honey, you gotta be quiet. It's a really cool benchmark at which you're earning $600 a month or about 500. So, and then you get that prize and all kinds of things.
Right.
So no, I talk about it as You need to go. You need to go. Be quiet. I talk about it as $40 a day simply for, okay, it's not 600 a month, but it's 40 a day. That kind of idea. Just to keep it simple.
Right. Okay.
So this is more of a thing to have in the future when you're like, okay, I'm ready to think about that star thing. What was it? You can just go look and read on it more.
Okay.
Just
And it says
know,
you can keep track of that, your points in your, in the In Touch business tools, my business. There's a way you can check that periodically, I'm assuming.
Yes.
On
and
here.
I check it too. So I figure it's my job partially to bring that up when be like, hey, here's where you're at. Or, oh my gosh, you
Right.
had your best quarter ever. You're halfway there. So
Right.
I'll
Okay.
keep an eye on it. And then, you know, we always post in the group, hey, the quarter's ending, or hey, we're in a new quarter. So it always kind of keeps it aware.
Okay.
But it's just fun. It's one of those things that they don't have to do that. They don't have to give me prizes and handbags, but sure, I'll take them for making my money.
Yeah.
You'll find
Absolutely.
that there is no lack of rewards here.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gathering that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The last page is just a reminder of who we are and what I think truly makes Mary Kay an incredible company to be a part of. We were founded on the Golden Rule, on Christ, on priorities of God first, family second, and work third. And we still do operate that way. That hasn't changed at all. Just yesterday, I was on a director training and the woman was like talking about when Mary Kay Ash welcomed her son who came running up to her at an event when she was speaking and said, pick him up, God first, family second, you know, and that spirit is here. Of course we want.
Was she a believer? Do you know?
Was, yes.
Was she? Okay.
Very faith-filled believer.
Okay.
Loved the Lord for real and was highly invested in her church and all of that. Her family still, many of them are based in faith. And so you'll find a lot of Christian women in Mary Kay, not all, but there's a lot.
Sure.
And the importance we still hold to is treating people how we would want to be treated, keeping our priorities right. And the go give spirit is something you'll hear a lot. It's the idea of paying it forward, not worrying about what's coming back. And so the highest honor you can earn in Mary Kay is to be Miss Go Give, where other people nominate you and say, she serves and she gives to others without worrying about what comes back to her. And it's a huge deal here. So
do you ever find like when you first started, like that you had to, how do I say this? Like have some type of a smooth spiel when it comes to convincing Christian conservative church women why they should spend and invest in the vanity of making themselves look good. Did you ever feel, because like I'm laying in bed and I'm like, how do I explain that this is okay to be a good steward of your body, but in this way, you know? What's wrong with finding your favorite shade of lipstick that makes you walk a little bit more confidently, you know? And so like, I guess I was like, I need to ask Jess, like, now you probably know it like the back of your hand, but at the same time, you know, yes, we serve. But there are some women that are more inclined to want to look good than others, you know, like some people put more emphasis on that. And I've always loved, like, this is effortless for me. Like I've always worn makeup. I've always wanted to look good, I guess. But but my mom, she's super low maintenance. She wears makeup for Sunday and that's like it, you know? So it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, girl. I'm a pastor's kid. So my dad was in ministry and I want to sell makeup. What? Like I had to, he didn't say that to me. I had to go, how does this work? Like, is this okay? Am I doing vanity for a living, you know? And ultimately you'll find your own words of truth. Like truth is truth, but you'll find your own words of how you put that into words. But for me, what I land on is you only have to walk outside into nature to see that God values beauty and creativity and the uniqueness of flowers and deserts and even like the temple, you know,
Right.
they spared no expense. And obviously, we're not trying to imitate God's temple, but we are his temple. And so for me, it's more, it starts with more honoring the body that I have and caring well for it.
Right.
You know, we wouldn't live in a home and never mop the floors.
Right.
That's nasty and that destroys the home. Well, you should
Right.
be mopping your face every night. Get that stuff
Mhm.
off. Like it's not
Yeah.
makeup, it's dirt, it's pollution,
Yeah.
it's ugh.
Yeah.
Just clean your face, if nothing
Yeah.
else, you know, or hydrate your skin. It's crying out. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
so that's kind of where I go first.
Yeah.
And there's certain women that are much more like edgy about it. And then there's plenty that are like, oh yeah, I get it. Let's do this.
Right. Right.
But
I think there's something too to be said about looking good for your spouse too.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just like within a marriage, like
Mhm.
wanting to still have them find you attractive and beautiful. Not that that's what the root of the love is, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it helps, you know?
Yes, girl.
So
Yes, girl. I'm with you.
I
Every once in a while, there's a day where it's not so lovely, but on the norm.
oh my word. I'm like
died.
the fact that my husband adores me, I'm so grateful because like, you know how it is when you're pregnant and you're staying at home and you're like, what is this, day 3? I haven't showered. Okay. All right. I probably should find time to do that.
Right? It's your, I'm with you, girl. I hear you. Totally.
But anyway, that's a good answer. Thank you. I was just wondering. So,
Yes. Yep. So find your way through that of what you believe truly. But yeah, that's the general idea is we're just caring for what we have. And that's why kind of my spiel is I love to help everyday women feel great in their own skin.
right.
Thinking about changing her. It's just, do you feel great in your skin? Do you know what to throw on for a wedding? Do you know what to put on for
Right.
church? Like, is your skin feeling healthy? So
Right. Yeah.
there you go. So anyway, we have about time to